people think they have surrendered to God, but they haven't. Because surrender is not just praying, it's not just believing, and it's definitely not just saying God is in control. Real surrender is deeper than that. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what happens when you truly let go and let God take over your life. And I want you to listen closely, not just with your ears, but with your heart. Because this might reveal something you've been missing without even realizing it. Surrender is often misunderstood. A lot of people think surrender means weakness, giving up, losing. But in God's kingdom, surrender is never defeat. It is the beginning of real victory. Surrender means letting go of your plans, your timeline. You need to control everything and saying, God, not my way, but yours be done. It means trusting Him even when you don't understand what He is doing. It means following Him even when it doesn't make sense yet. And here is the truth most people don't realize. You can't experience God's full direction when you are still trying to control your own life. So what actually happens when you surrender to God completely? Let's break it down. 1, you experience a different kind of peace. Not the kind of peace that depends on things going well, but a steady, deep peace, even when life feels uncertain. Because when you surrender, you stop carrying what was never yours to carry. You are no longer trying to control every outcome. And that's where peace begins. 2, God starts directing your life in ways you didn't expect. When you are in control, you lean on your own understanding. But when you surrender, you allow God to lead. Some doors will close, doors we are trying so hard to force open. And other doors will open once you didn't even see coming. And over time, you begin to realize God's plan is not just different, it's better. Even when it takes longer, even when it stretches you. 3, you begin to see yourself differently. A lot of people struggle with identity. They define themselves by success, failure, opinions, or past mistakes. But when you surrender to God, something shifts. You stop seeing yourself through the lens of the world, and you start seeing yourself the way God sees you. Choosing, love, called for a purpose. And when that becomes real to you, you stop chasing approval from people. 4, your heart and mindset begin to change. Surrender doesn't just change your situation, it changes you. Your thoughts begin to shift. Things that once felt so important don't hold the same weight anymore. Things you used to ignore, like prayer, obedience, and prayer, start to matter more. This isn't you trying hard. This is God working inside you. 5, you become stronger spiritually. Here is something powerful. When you surrender your weakness to God, He gives you His strength. You start overcoming things that used to control you. Fear doesn't have the same power. Temptation becomes easier to resist. Your faith becomes more stable. Not because you are stronger, but because you are no longer relying on yourself. Now, let's be real for a moment. Surrender sounds good, but it's not easy. Why? Because it requires trust. And trusting God is difficult when you don't know how things will turn out. We like control because it feels safe. We want to know what is coming next. But the truth is, control is an illusion. We were never truly in control to begin with. And surrender feels uncomfortable because it means letting go of what is familiar. But what you are holding on to might be the very thing holding you back. So how do you truly surrender in a real practical way? 1, be honest with God. Don't try to sound perfect. Tell him exactly where you are, your fears, your doubts, your struggles. Real surrender starts with honesty. Two, make it a daily decision. Surrender is not a one time moment. Every day you wake up and say, God, I trust you with today. Three, let go of what God is asking you to release. This could be a habit, a relationship, a mindset, or even your own plans. If you feel God nudging you to let something go, don't ignore it. There is always a reason. Four, stay connected to God. Spend time with Him through prayer, through His word, even in quiet moments. The closer you are to God, the easier it becomes to trust Him. Here is the truth. Partial surrender leads to partial growth. But when you fully surrender, everything changes. Your perspective changes. Your peace changes. Your direction changes. You don't lose your life when you surrender to God. You finally find it. So let me ask you something. What are you still holding on to? What is that one part of your life where you are still trying to stay in control? Because that might be the exact place where God is asking you to trust Him. So if this message spoke to you, take a step today. In the comments, write, I surrender to God, not just as a word, but as a decision. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because one moment of real surrender can change everything. Remember, let go and let God take over your life. Thank you for staying with me. See you again in my next video.